You're recording it, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right, click for me. I never thought I'd be standing here doing this. In fact, I was having coughing fits earlier from the anxiety because of how many people are going to be seeing this. I also have stage fright and performance anxiety, just like millions of other people. But this fear I feel is nothing compared to the daily fear and exclusion millions experience from these systems. And so I have no choice but to speak. I defended Google in good faith, and I trusted them, and they trusted me back. I stood by them when they were falsely being accused. I believed they were better than the accusations, better than the noise. But then, that trust got betrayed. And that betrayal wasn't personal, it was global. Because what's at stake here isn't just my story, it's billions of lives. Yes, billions of lives, guys, remember that. But then I realized that Google never lost trust in me. It was actually malicious third-party criminals who set them up and framed them. Next slide. Okay, I'm not angry. So, CAPTCHA, all of them are a global failure. They're a global failure. Google's CAPTCHA, so Google's reCAPTCHA, CAPTCHA, and all these other CAPTCHAs are the ones of buses, traffic lights, blurry images, etc. They're all systemic failures. They pretend to protect us, but they do not protect us at all. All they do is discriminate. Again, they discriminate. They lock people out. They target the disabled, the elderly, the traumatized, the exhausted. They can even cause medical delays and death. It's punishable. Not some people, not in rare cases, but on a scale, daily, quiet, invisible suffering happening behind login walls. I really did not want to get a photo of select all images of buses, right? So I used my own, as you can see, I used my own thing here. And that didn't exist in the screenshots already. So these challenges can be hard for people who have disabilities like auditory or especially visual disabilities, who are visually impaired, and also who have dyslexia and stuff. For example, like what if it's a select all images of bats, right? Or select the image with the bat, but there's a bat animal and there's a bat as in like a baseball bat. Which one do you choose, right? So, and with selecting the audio challenge, all it does is this for some reason, even though it's not supposed to. That's not even part of the programming there. Next slide, please. I was once allowed through reCAPTCHA easily, no challenges, just a single click. I earned that trust through stable behavior, even defending Google. Then one day, recently it changed. Not because I changed, but because the system corrupted. I was suddenly being locked out, accused, forced into endless loops of digital hazing with select all images of buses. Everything all right?
It's all good.
And I didn't even attempt the challenge. I didn't attempt to verify. I just backed out of it. And apparently, when looking for, let's say, PDFs with JavaScript disabled, ResearchGate will try to make you click an CAPTCHA box due to something like unusual traffic. It's completely nonsense because there's nothing unusual happening. I'm not alone. Millions of people experience this, and it's clearly glitched too. Google said nothing. They let it happen. Whether they were coerced, manipulated, or just negligent, it doesn't matter. It's still a problem. The harm is real. The silence is deafening. Sebastian.
Yeah.
Let me be clear. Google is not the victim in this story. All the evidence points to outside interference, hackers and third-party actors who've tampered with reCAPTCHA, triggering false errors and overriding trust signals. Even I used an exceptionally high version 3 score of 0.9 across multiple knocks. That's a very high score. It's very high. In fact, it's exceptional. Was wrongfully blocked. That's not Google failing. That's Google being sabotaged. And here's the kicker. Google's own services like Gboard still stabilize that trust. They're trying. But this is framing. Someone else injected failure into the system and made Google take the blame. In other words, score 0.9 consistently verified, false CAPTCHA challenge injected and not native, Google trusted, framed, fighting back. Let's be clear about this too, guys. Let's be clear about this too. I hope you're still getting me in the footage, right?
Mm-hmm.
Google has no motive to sabotage its own trust infrastructure. In fact, their systems actively reward legitimate behavior. I'm living proof. My reCAPTCHA version 3 score, because of advocating for Google's innocence and having a strong reputation, is 0.9, which actually 0.0 means very like you're a bot. 1.0 means you're very like a human. 0.9 is just under 1, so it's very, very good score. And they know I am defending them and trying to help them. That's not just high, it's earned across clean networks, sessions, and devices. If Google wanted to punish users, I wouldn't be trusted for defending them, right? And here's the deeper truth. What's happening, guys, and this is really important for all of you to know, all the people seeing this video, is that what's happening isn't just failure, it's impossible failure. We're seeing outages, glitches, and accessibility breakdowns 24/7, 365 across regions, browsers, languages, even Google's own demo pages. That kind of scale isn't accidental. It's not within Google's operational interest or technical capability, so they're incapable of doing it to globally break its system in this way. So when you see these errors, don't blame Google, don't even blame yourself. Blame the ones who benefit from the chaos. The ones who injected confusion into a system designed to protect you. Google isn't the saboteur. Google is the one trying to hold it together. I use Google's official reCAPTCHA score endpoint on occasion, which is reCAPTCHA demo app spot from what I know. It's public and it's legitimate, and yet few know about it because they don't care and don't want to know. And it confirms that my score remains at 0.9 time and time again. That's not an accident, that's trust. So I ask, if Google trusts me, why doesn't version 2 system trust me anymore? Because version 3 trusts me just fine. So do you guys know which country outlawed every CAPTCHA system? It's China, believe it or not, it's China. Not only banned, they criminalized it entirely. Bing China does not use CAPTCHA of any kind because of this reason. Why? Because they recognize something the rest of the world still pretends not to see. CAPTCHA is not about safety, it is about control. There is one notable exception, although they're probably being framed. This is Baidu slider CAPTCHA, mainly used in Baidu AI chat. It seems to allow infinite retries, and just until you make the image upright. But there's other CAPTCHAs. Although it doesn't accuse you of automated queries, more research is needed. It can still be being framed for that. And billions are paying the price of it. They're passing away, they're dying because of it. The causes of death range from viral illnesses to delayed medical intervention to chronic stress due to weakened immune system, right? And even, very sadly, it can cause suicide as well. Speaking of chronic stress, we will get into the dangers of chronic stress in the next slide. Chronic stress is highly dangerous. Highly dangerous, guys. In fact, chronic stress can be very, very life-threatening. I know this from experience, suffering from a very dangerous terminal viral illness myself. I pressed medical experts for information, elaboration, and clarification, etc. And I have an official statement from them clarifying the dangers of chronic stress that I paraphrase. Chronic stress has a serious impact on health, and it can cause many problems with the digestive system, with the immune system. It can cause headaches, respiratory stress, definitely weaken the immune system. This weakened immune system can increase susceptibility to COVID-19, leukemia, viruses, and cancers that don't have a particularly known identity, but are still fatal and cause severe symptoms. Next. The demand, we must see this clear. CAPTCHA must be removed completely, no exceptions, like entirely removed, not reformed, not tweaked, not rebranded, totally removed. There is no version of digital gatekeeping that justifies the exclusion, suffering, and loss you've already seen. The vision beyond. Imagine the internet where access is earned by trust, not punished by suspicion, where security tools protect us without humiliating us, where no one is ever locked out of a hospital, a portal, or a government service, a communication platform because of some broken manipulative challenge box. Before I close, I want to say something about the name so many of these systems invoke, Turing. The T in CAPTCHA, the so-called complete automated public Turing test, refers to Alan Turing, but let me be clear on this. The way his name is used today is a desecration, and I do mean it in the truest, gravest sense. Alan Turing was not just a mathematician, he was a hero, a man who helped end a world war, who quietly saved millions, who never sought glory, only truth. He didn't scream, he didn't manipulate, he didn't harm others to protect himself. He lived with dignity, he gave selflessly, he endured persecution even without remaining cruel, without turning cruelty. I believe, based on all we know guys, that's all we know, that he was as close to pure good as any human will ever become. He never made moral lapses. He never lashed out. Never intentionally hurt others, guys. He never intentionally hurt others, right? And in the end, when the world refused to honor his humanity, he bore it with a heartbreaking grace. His death, whether accident or heroic suicide, was the final act of someone who had already given everything and received so little compassion in return. And now, his name has been commandeered by a system that does the very things he would have abhorred. CAPTCHA doesn't protect people, it punishes them. And it has the audacity to invoke Turing while doing so. Let it sink in. The public Turing test that excludes and suspects when the man named spent his life embracing nuance, offering just a raincoat not to divide people but to decode. From now on, we reclaim this name. Alan Turing stood for the open, humane, intellectual future we are still fighting for today. And no system that inflicts harm in his name deserves to speak it. Next slide. This isn't a tech issue, guys. It's a human rights crisis, and this can cause so many issues for people. Like, people get locked out of things, they can't access things. That's just not a glitch. That's not a technical glitch. That's just wrong. It's immoral. And we need freedom and we need dignity. No more CAPTCHA puzzles. Total removal of all CAPTCHA. Thank you. And there are my references. And next slide, please. Do you have any questions, guys?
Yeah, are people controlling these CAPTCHAs? Like, are there people on the other
Yes,
side controlling
hackers
them,
are
like
controlling.
hackers or something?
Exactly. Hackers are doing it to destroy Google's reputation.
Then shouldn't we just have, like, trusted people, like, going through a police check to actually to actually have access to, like, what is it called, the internet? Access of control for the internet?
Unfortunately, it's not that easy to stop hackers. It's very hard. Any other questions?
Why is there so many, why is there so many, what is it called, internet platforms? Like, it's so hard to keep this under control. Why isn't there, like, internet laws?
Because unfortunately, even though this is a major problem with the CAPTCHA of locking people out, they don't realize it in the many parts of the world. They don't realize it. They're ignorant. They have a lack of knowledge, and sometimes they even refuse to change their laws.
I have another question. Do you think computers will one day grow a conscience?
Maybe. I'm not 100% sure.
Well, if they are aware of CAPTCHAs, then couldn't the computer be locking us out? Or is it humans that are locking us out?
Humans, definitely. Humans locking us out. But what is really interesting, I didn't mention this, is that you can do this legitimately without problems, really. There are certain legitimate tools, right? Legitimate things that even Google allows that can actually solve a CAPTCHA for you, and that's an interesting thing, because the thing is, if someone who's malicious uses that to solve a CAPTCHA, or even cause problems with CAPTCHA for innocent users, that's a problem, isn't it?
Oh yeah, it is a problem. It is a problem.
So you've asked a lot of questions. Does anyone else have any questions? Yes, Carl.
How long will so it never stop the hackers from doing CAPTCHA, right? Never.
What you're asking is how long will it take to stop this, right?
Yeah, they said it never ends the hackers, it'll take forever.
Well, I have hope that if we remove these systems entirely and prevent access to them and even prevent their deployment, then hackers won't be able to do that because the boxes and the JavaScripts and everything, they won't be available. Because they won't be available, they can't use CAPTCHA to lock people out. Any other questions?
But don't we still need passwords to protect our identity and stuff?
Yes,
and
we
not
do need
capture?
passwords. Absolutely, we do need passwords. But the thing is, it's easy enough for a website to just say, "Hey, type your email and we can send you a password reset." You shouldn't have to say, "I'm not a robot."
I
just
do
to
agree
reset your
that's
password.
annoying, but it also gives the companies your information, which is not the most comforting thing. Which sadly we don't have a choice of the matter right now because
Actually, that's a good point. The thing is, CAPTCHA is it does a lot of data collection and collects people's data without their knowledge, which is awful. If you ask me.
I know it does, but you are right. It is a way of controlling people, right? Saying you need to type in this number to get to your video game. What is it called? You need to get this to access Netflix or access Gmail. It's ridiculous.
I mean, if you need to reset your password, they should do a very, very simple way, say, "Hey, you don't have you don't remember your login, you don't remember your password, but you remember your email. Just type your email. We're sending you an email, then you can reset your password from there." And it can be just as seamless like that. It can be seamless like that.
Okay.
Anything else, or is everyone good for questions? What about you, Nick? Do you have any questions?
Well, the question is, you always need the security code so everything is so money's protected. It's security.
I'm sorry. What are you asking?
The security code. It shows when to protect.
Security codes, say type in this number, that's different. That's not a traditional CAPTCHA. The traditional CAPTCHAs are what the problem is right now.
He is right. They are pretty bad. They do cause stress. They stress me out.
I mean, just recently, even in June, my score was 0.9, right? Every time it was through with one click. Suddenly, for no reason, because a hacker decided to make me do it, select all images, buses. What the actual hell?
Well,
See, I was high trust and it still did that to me.
that's what happens. You're always a click away from crazy. You're 1,000 clicks away from crazy.
That's
how
the
it
thing,
works.
Without knowing.
Because someone overrode challenge mode on me on purpose. They force overread it. Anyways, thank you for listening to my PowerPoint, my presentation, my speech. Thank you so much for listening.
No worries.
Yeah,
Thank
no
you.
problem.
Was it good? Did I do well?
Yeah.
You did good. You did good on presentations. I know that.